What if I told you that your biggest weakness is actually your greatest strength? We spend so much time hiding our flaws, covering up our insecurities, pretending to be perfect. But what if the very thing you're trying to run from is the key to your success? Weaknesses don't hold you back, ignoring them does. The moment you embrace them, you unlock a version of yourself you never knew existed. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see your weaknesses in a way you never have before. In a world obsessed with strength, success, and perfection, weaknesses are often seen as flaws that need to be hidden or eradicated. We are conditioned to believe that showing vulnerability is a sign of failure and that admitting a weakness is a mark of incompetence. From childhood, we are told to focus on our strengths, to avoid our limitations, and to mask any shortcomings. However, this perspective is fundamentally flawed. Embracing your weaknesses is not about giving up or accepting mediocrity, it is about understanding yourself, fostering growth, and unlocking new potential. In this video, we will explore why embracing your weaknesses is not only necessary but also beneficial. We will examine how acknowledging your shortcomings can lead to personal growth, deeper connections with others, and even professional success. By the end, you will see that what you perceive as weaknesses might actually be hidden strengths in disguise. Before we delve into why you should embrace your weaknesses, it is essential to redefine what weakness truly means. Weaknesses are often perceived as inherent flaws, fixed traits that limit our abilities. However, in reality, weaknesses are not permanent. They are areas for improvement, signals that point us toward growth opportunities. For example, if you struggle with public speaking, it does not mean you are doomed to be a poor communicator forever. It simply indicates that this is an area where you can develop skills, gain confidence, and improve over time. Similarly, if you are not naturally good at math, it does not mean you are unintelligent, it just means you might need a different learning approach or more practice. Weaknesses are often situational rather than absolute. A trait that seems like a weakness in one context can be a strength in another. Someone who is highly sensitive may struggle in a high-pressure corporate environment but thrive in creative or empathetic roles. The key is to recognize that weaknesses do not define us, they merely highlight aspects of ourselves that need attention, growth, or adaptation. One of the greatest benefits of embracing your weaknesses is the development of self-awareness. When you accept your limitations instead of denying or ignoring them, you gain a clearer understanding of who you are. Self-awareness allows you to make better decisions, set realistic goals, and seek support where needed. For instance, if you acknowledge that you struggle with time management, you can take proactive steps to improve it, such as using planners, setting reminders, or delegating tasks. Conversely, ignoring this weakness would only lead to stress, missed deadlines, and inefficiency. Furthermore, self-awareness fosters authenticity. When you accept and acknowledge your weaknesses, you present a more genuine version of yourself to the world. This authenticity builds trust and respect, whether in personal relationships, friendships, or professional settings. People appreciate honesty and vulnerability far more than a facade of perfection. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. If you only focus on your strengths and avoid your weaknesses, you limit your potential. Embracing your weaknesses forces you to step outside your comfort zone, confront challenges, and develop resilience. Take, for example, someone who is naturally introverted and avoids social interactions. If they continue to avoid situations that require social engagement, they may never develop the confidence to network, make new friends, or advance in their careers. However, if they acknowledge their discomfort and gradually push themselves to engage in conversations, they may discover new skills, build confidence, and even turn socializing into a strength. Struggling with something does not mean you are incapable, it means you have an opportunity to learn. Some of the most successful people in the world started out struggling in their respective fields. Many famous authors, scientists, and entrepreneurs faced countless failures before finding success. Their ability to embrace and work through their weaknesses ultimately led to greatness. Weaknesses make us human. They make us relatable, approachable, and real. When you embrace your weaknesses and share them with others, you foster deeper connections and build stronger relationships. Consider how you feel when someone admits they are struggling with something. Instead of judging them, you likely feel empathy and a sense of connection. Vulnerability breeds trust. When you open up about your struggles, you invite others to do the same, creating an environment of mutual support and understanding. In personal relationships, acknowledging your weaknesses allows for better communication and cooperation. If you recognize that you struggle with patience, for example, you can communicate this to your partner and work on it together. If you know that you have a hard time asking for help, you can consciously try to be more open with friends and family. In the workplace, admitting weaknesses can actually make you a better leader or team member. Instead of pretending to have all the answers, great leaders recognize their limitations and surround themselves with people who complement their skills. A CEO who acknowledges that they are not great with numbers will hire a strong financial advisor. A manager who struggles with organization might delegate those tasks to someone who excels in that area. Recognizing your weaknesses allows you to build a balanced and effective team. What if the very things you consider weaknesses are actually hidden strengths? Many traits that we see as weaknesses can be reframed as valuable qualities in the right context. Perfectionism, often seen as a flaw because it can lead to overthinking and procrastination, perfectionism can also mean high standards, attention to detail, and dedication to excellence. Sensitivity, some might view sensitivity as a weakness, but it can also indicate high emotional intelligence, empathy, and the ability to understand others deeply. Stubbornness, while stubbornness can lead to resistance to change, it can also manifest as perseverance, determination, and a strong will. Impatience, while impatience can cause frustration, it can also drive urgency, efficiency, and action-oriented thinking. By changing the way you perceive your weaknesses, you can find ways to use them to your advantage. Instead of trying to eliminate them, you can learn how to leverage them in a positive way. One of the biggest fears associated with weaknesses is failure. Society often stigmatizes failure, making people afraid to try new things or admit their shortcomings. However, failure is not the opposite of success, it is a necessary part of success. Every great innovator, leader, and achiever has failed multiple times before succeeding. Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His persistence in the face of failure was the key to his success. When you embrace your weaknesses, you become more comfortable with failure. You stop seeing mistakes as personal flaws and start viewing them as learning opportunities. This shift in mindset builds resilience, which is one of the most important traits for long-term success and happiness. If you are ready to embrace your weaknesses, here are some actionable steps to help you on your journey. Identify your weaknesses, take an honest look at yourself and acknowledge areas where you struggle. Write them down and reflect on them without judgment. Reframe your mindset, instead of viewing weaknesses as failures, see them as opportunities for growth. Ask yourself, how can I turn this into a strength? Seek feedback, sometimes, we are blind to our own weaknesses. Ask trusted friends, family, or mentors for constructive feedback. Take small steps, growth happens gradually. If you struggle with confidence, start by taking small risks. If you struggle with discipline, build tiny daily habits. Celebrate progress, recognize that improvement takes time. Celebrate small victories along the way instead of focusing on perfection. Surround yourself with support, find people who encourage growth and self-improvement. A strong support system can make all the difference. Embrace vulnerability, don't be afraid to share your struggles. Being open about your weaknesses can build deeper connections and invite support. In conclusion, embracing your weaknesses is not about settling for mediocrity or accepting defeat, it is about unlocking your full potential. When you acknowledge your limitations, You gain self-awareness, foster deeper relationships, and develop resilience. Weaknesses are not fixed barriers, they are opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. The next time you feel insecure about a shortcoming, remember that it is not a flaw, it is a doorway to a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of yourself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.